Madam girl, we need to talk about Danny.
What is it now, boy? Don't you think we've done enough planning for season 2?
No, we have not, alright? There were too many loose ends that weren't tied.
Oh, you stupid piece of shit. What makes you think that we are going to have a second season? I mean, seriously, everyone hates this show. I mean, people who love the MCU, who forgive all of its flaws and overlook all of its problems, even them hate the shit out of this show. Oh, this is a sinking ship if I've ever seen one.
Now hold on right there. That negative thinking will take you nowhere, Madam Girl.
Don't tell me how to live my life, boy. I've lived 16,000 times longer than you.
There are worse Netflix shows that have got renewed. I mean, that werewolf show for starters, or that King Kong show. They're all shit, but they keep getting renewed. This is fucking Marvel we're talking about. If they have the audacity to renew all of their shitty-ass cartoons, then why should we be no different?
Oh, Davos. You are so young and naive. You have no idea how the real world works. This show has pissed off a lot of people. Not just because of the quality, but by the fact that the protagonist is a white man. The show might as well not have even started, because people would hate it anyway.
Okay, first of all, that's not the only reason why people hate the show. And second, if the show was fucking awesome as all hell, then everyone would have overlooked that. Okay, maybe not everyone, but most people would have, alright? And besides, we are racially diverse, the villains of the show.
But doesn't that make it even worse? That most of the bad guys are non-white?
Hey, shut up! You're thinking about it too much. Oh god, let's not get down this rabbit hole, god damn it. Alright, this is why we need a season 2. To redeem ourselves from season 1. This can be fixed, alright? All we have to do is make season 2 more like the latter half of season 1. Yeah, wasn't the second half of season 1 awesome as all hell?
Yes, but only when they were focusing on us, the Hand.
I get what you're saying. It was a lot less interesting when they kept focusing on Harold Meacham.
Yes, Harold Meacham. He is the cause of all this.
Well, I mean, he wasn't a bad villain. He was pretty charismatic, and he was pretty threatening at times, and you could buy how genuine he was to the characters. There were times where he would get all lovey-dovey with the protagonists, and you actually believed him. You actually forgot that he's a fucked up dude.
Yes, he does have his positive moments, but this show was supposed to be a kung fu superhero epic.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a good idea to have him be the final villain of the show right at the season finale. It should have been one of us.
I know, but you had to blow your wad with your climatic battles at the second to the last episode. That was when you were defeated way too early. And as for me, I had to stay in timeout.
Hey, that's all on you for not figuring out a way to get yourself out of that predicament. I mean, you said it yourself, you've been around for centuries, or at least that's what's implied about you, so why didn't you do something?
Because I spend only half of my time as an actual supervillain. The other half I spend as a source of exposition, and I am devoted to that duty, so I had to stay in that cell for the last third of the season in order to spew exposition at Danny White Savior Rand. The matters of race are not the main reason why we fucked up, alright? It also has to do with the use of the characters. And Harold Meacham, while he was a very fun, enjoyable villain, he's too much what we've seen before. A secretive villain who's behind the scenes, who is a corporate tycoon who's on top. Well, technically, he wasn't officially on top. He was using his son, Ward Meacham, to be his eyes and ears for the corporation. I do understand why they thought it might be a good idea to save him for the final villain of the season to overcome, because he started the show, so wouldn't it be appropriate for him to end the show?
Well, keep in mind that this is supposed to be all about build-up. You start with this jerk of an asshole douchebag, Ward Meacham, and then you build up to Harold Meacham, and then you build up to you, and then you build up even higher, and higher, and higher, and higher, and you never look back. And halfway through the season, you actually thought that's what was going to happen when they killed off Harold Meacham.
Well, that might have been a shocker for you, but it wasn't for me, because I know what the effects are of the hand's incantations to bring people back to life, but at a horrible, horrible price. Their insanity.
Okay, I'll give you that. That was interesting to see his mental stability slowly crumble. But this could have ended with the hand. Did you hear that, Madam Gow? They also had to be swept aside in favor of White Harold Meacham.
How do you think Harold would feel about us talking so nonsense about him? I mean, come on, I thought you were on his side.
Yeah, I know I was. Come to think of it, if he had survived, we probably all would have teamed up against Danny Rand.
Yes, that's right. You and I were once sworn enemies, but our hatred of Danny Rand has left us no choice but to join forces against that white rich boy.
Come to think of it, we kinda rushed into this, didn't we?
Yes, this was a very quick epilogue. We had no time to explain why we all of a sudden joined forces exactly. I mean, sure, there is the issue of Danny Rand, but you were so passionate in your hatred of the Hand and your loyalty to Kun Lun.
Exactly. I believe that Danny Rand lost sight of who he is. He should not have been the Iron Fist. It should have been someone more deserving. Someone who would be willing to commit themselves to the job instead of leaving and allowing Kun Lun to be destroyed. I'm not saying it should have been me, because then I would have been sort of a rip-off of Mordo from the Doctor Strange movie.
Ah, another cliffhanger, I see.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why we can't just leave them hanging. We need to resolve all this.
maybe we can just piggyback on Luke Cage and actually get a Heroes for Hire show off the ground instead of an Iron Fist Season 2.
Think not! Hell to the no!
Was that some kind of pimp stormtrooper?
No, I thought that was Halo from the Hood, or RoboCop from the ghetto.
Well, whoever that was, he has just stated that Luke Cage is off limits for us. So that means that we are going to have to dig ourselves out of this hole. So it's more important now than ever that we have a distinct identity.
We got the Kung Fu thing going on.
Yes, but that's not enough. We need to embrace that genre. We need to embrace the fact that this is on the magical side. I mean, sure, the glowing fist is a nice touch, but we can't just stop there. This show is supposed to have a dragon in it. And did you see a dragon?
Well, we employed the dragon. We even saw the dragon's glowing red eyes. I mean, they were red as all hell. They need some eye drops or something.
That right there is probably why people hate us. We had the chance to show a dragon, but we didn't. We had a chance to embrace the fantastical parts of this mythology, but we didn't. And above all else, we had a chance for Danny Rand to wear his Iron Fist costume, and he didn't.
Oh, I see what this is all about. It's mostly about the costume, isn't it? Well, I guess it wasn't enough that we actually showed the costume on a previous Iron Fist.
Well, that probably would have sufficed if we had a good look at it instead of just through the blurry lenses of a 1940s camera with all of the grain that made it barely visible.
Oh, that's not enough, is it? You actually have to see Danny Rand actually flat out wear a costume.
You seem apprehensive about him wearing the costume. Is it because if he actually fulfills his destiny of wearing the iconic Iron Fist outfit, it would mean that you would have to wear yours as well?
I have no problem wearing the costume. Hell, I'll even wear it right now. See, there you go. Look, I have no problem. I mean, sure, I look stupid as all fuck.
This franchise is supposed to make stupid stuff look like cool stuff. So I'm sure that they would make your outfit badass as all hell. You would just have to give them a chance.
Okay, fine, I get it. But keep in mind that you can't just wallow in the mistakes of Season 1. We need to use this as an opportunity to see what we need to fix in Season 2. So you know what I'll do? I'm gonna take in consideration all of your complaints, Madam Gao. No more are we gonna keep it subtle. Alright, next time we're gonna embrace the wackiness. You're right, it's not enough that we just have a glowing fist and a bunch of assholes who can come back to life. Let's put in the dragon. Let's bring out those costumes. We need to even embrace the even stupidest of comic book ideas, like Furiosa. Fuck it, let's bring her into the mix.
Oh, I don't know about that, Davos. I am all for getting into the more magical aspects, like the Crane Mother, but I draw the line at Werewolf Lady.
Well, she's a reverse of a werewolf. You see, Furiosa is the wolf that killed Daddy Rand's mother, and eventually went on to have a magical spell bestowed upon it, turning it into a half woman, half-wolf monster.
Yes, reverse werewolf, I get it, alright, I get it. You want Furiosa because you're probably a furry, and that gets you off, alright? Alright, we all have our fetishes, I get it.
Okay, alright. We won't do Furiosa, alright? We won't do the reverse werewolf lady. In fact, in this version, I don't think Danny Rand's mother even gets eaten by wolves. She just flies out of the plane.
Well, I mean, we don't exactly know what happens to her after that. Maybe after she landed on the ground, a bunch of wolves found her and ate her carcass. One can only imagine.
But we must make sure we don't get too fantastical. After all, we are trying to fit this into the tinier cinematic universe within the bigger cinematic universe. And the tinier one is supposed to be more grounded. But we need to be the exception in order to stand out from the rest by being slightly less grounded. Not as grounded, but less. Look, I get it. Don't you think that this is a chance for us to redeem ourselves? Don't you think that all those people who are disappointed in us are looking forward to being proven wrong at round 2?
Yes, but I think round 2 is actually the Defenders show. That would be what makes or breaks the possibility of season 2.
I see. So that is the place where we need to be at our A game.
Well, my A game anyway. I'm pretty sure that I am all but insured to be on that mini-series, because I am a multi-hero type villain. I'm the arch-nemesis of Daredevil. I'm the arch-nemesis of Danny Rand. So of course, I would be guaranteed a seat.
Oh, you're right. I have no assurance. Which means all I can do is just pray. Pray to the legendary Iron Fist Dragon that there will be a season 2 so that I can become the Steel Serpent with your help.
I still don't completely understand why you decide to join forces with me.
Well, I mean, the epilogue was so brief and barely showed anything that maybe the viewers aren't even sure that we are joining forces. All it was me having a conversation with Joy Machum while you were eavesdropping. Does that really mean we're joining forces? Or does that mean that you are a nosy eavesdropper?
This is interesting. You having some tea time with Joy Meacham. Oh, are you trying to start a love triangle with Danny Rand?
No, because he's boning the Hand girl. Ugh, the Hand. I hate the Hand. They disgust me. Those disgusting parasites.
Do you know who the fuck you're talking to right now? Also, do you know where the hell you're at right now? I mean, fuck, did you just not forget that you just teamed up with us?
But it could be that I'm just temporarily joining forces with you. After all, I could be just adapting to the situation. I'm just trying to cling on to the strongest party. And currently, the strongest party is the Hand. What is clear is that I hate Danny Rand, you hate Danny Rand, and Joy Meacham hates Danny Rand.
Speaking of which, there's another thing that's not exactly clear because of the rushed epilogue. Why is she all of a sudden wishing to kill Danny Rand? this is a weird turning of the tables that came the fuck out of nowhere. We spent most of the season seeing Joy support Danny, while Ward broke him down every chance he got. But now the tables have switched, and now she's the one who actually wants to kill him? While Ward is the one who is actually best buddies with him now, even saving him from his asshole of a father?
Now let's not count our dragons before they hatch. All I did was bring up the idea of killing Danny to Joy, and she did not say no. She didn't. She didn't seem to be concerned about me bringing that up, so maybe it means she's open to the idea because she doesn't have all the facts. Ward has all of the facts, but she doesn't, and besides, that could be an interesting twist to center a whole season around. This is actually an interesting idea to turn the tables and see what it's actually like to have the status quo be Ward supporting Danny while Joy hates the shit out of him. After all, she doesn't know that her father was going insane.
I see what you're saying. You do a good job selling the potential of a season 2. But even though it is still not clear that you and I are in cahoots, it would still be kind of jarring if it is true, because I am in charge of the more corrupt faction of the Hand, whereas Bakuto was leader of a slightly more ambiguous faction of the Hand. And you hated the shit out of him, so why are you welcoming me in open arms when you were so quick to murder Bakuto?
Yeah, I see how this could be a huge gaping contradiction, but the viewers don't have all the story. They don't see what all goes on. Maybe it just so happens that your particular views on how the Hand does things are more compatible with me than the way Bakuto did things. Bakuto was so secretive and deceiving. At least you actually embrace your title as Hand Leader.
Well, I kept the secret too, after all. How else would I work under Rand for all these years? But I see what you're saying. I am more proud of my heritage as a Hand, while Bakuto was in denial. He just thought that the Hand was more of a religion for good. He didn't see the business side of things like I do. But you are digging an even bigger grave by pointing all these things out, Davos, because it makes even less sense now why you would join up with me, when the whole reason for you hating Danny in the first place was because he saw the good members of the Hand and separated them from the bad members of the Hand, while you saw all of them as bad people. And now you're joining up with me, another Hand leader? You got to understand how really fucked up and nonsensical this is.
Don't make me repeat myself. This all could be explained with a second season.
I don't know why you keep trying to convince me to have this second season. Sure, I would like a second season. I would very much like one, so that I can have more screen time, of of course, maybe even dive deeper into my backstory. After all the other villains get their backstories. I mean, come on. That no-good white fat boy that I used to be in cahoots with back during the early days of 2015, he has a backstory. Where is my backstory?
If you're getting a backstory, then I need a backstory.
I'm pretty sure the viewers know everything they need about you. You used to be the best friend of Danny Rand back when he was at Kunlun, back when he was hanging out with all those monks, and you also were trying to attain the title of Iron Fist, but didn't. Instead, you just had to witness your best friend get it in place of you, and now you're jealous. That's all we need to know. We don't need to know anything else about you. But me, on the other hand, I have always been a huge question mark. I am an enigma. Am I the Crane Mother, or am I not?
Well, considering you're working for the Hand, I'd say no.
I still think it's possible to make me both the Crane Mother and a leader of the Hand. I mean, they made Zhao Chang a member of the Hand, and he is not even associated with us. He is just some kind of exterminator of all Iron Fists, and yet they made him one of us instead. So sure, I'm sure that the Hand would be more than welcome to integrate the Crane Mother into their association.
Alright. Let's go over everything that we need to do to make sure that Season 2 redeems the Iron Fist franchise. Alright, number 1, put in that dragon.
Along with all other magical elements, thank you very much.
Including Furiosa.
We probably won't have time for Furiosa.
Okay, fine. No dog lady. Alright, number 2. Put on those costumes. By all cost, put them on. It doesn't matter how stupid they look, put them on. Make them work. They made the Daredevil costume work, so hopefully this will work as well. Number 3. Make sure that Harold Meacham is done. Kaput. No more. We utilized him as much as we possibly can, alright? In the comic books, he's just some crazy old dude with no legs, alright? And we did way more than we ought to with that character, so he is overdue for some rest, alright? He's done. He's dead, alright? He was cremated, he's done. No possible way of him coming back whatsoever, alright? Once you're cremated into a bunch of dust, you're done, alright? Ashes to ashes, fuck to dust.
Yes, fuck off, Harold. Your children will do more than well to reach the quota of asshole white rich people.
Exactly. And number 4, let's find a new face for the Hand.
I should be the new face, as I once was.
Listen, you're a great leader and all, but I think you lack that little bit of, extra pizzazz. I mean, sure, you have more pizzazz than Bakuto had. I mean, maybe if Bakuto had his tiger stripes, like he does in the comic books, then he would have been more of a visually pleasing supervillain. But as it was, he was very boring.
The only reason why he had the tiger stripes in the comic books was because he was the nemesis of White Tiger, and we don't have her yet, unless the night nurse wants to think about changing her persona.
Whatever. He's done, alright? That's why we need someone else on top.
How are you certain that he is dead? I mean, if Harold could come back, how are we sure he wouldn't either?
Because they stated that the gift of immortality is only given to only a handful of people. They can't just squander it on anyone they want. They have to choose very, very wisely. And they wouldn't choose a hipster like Bakuto. Oh, look at my college. This is the cool college. I got all of the millennials. No wonder I stabbed him. What we need is a good old-fashioned hand leader.
Well, I did mention that I had a sensei, and I'm pretty sure it's not Electra, because she is being saved for the Defenders series.
And it would be too repetitive to have her be an antagonist here, which is why I have the perfect solution to who should be the new hand leader. Master Korn.
Yes, that could be a very good replacement, if it wasn't for the fact that he is basically a ripoff of the Mandarin.
Okay, look, what we could do is we could either do Master Korn, or maybe we should take that Mandarin short and we should continue it here, since we sure as hell know that there's probably not going to be an Iron Man 4. Maybe we should pick that up and pay it off by having an actual Mandarin.
Yes, but if you really want to do Master Khan, then I see no reason why you can't.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm sticking to my guns. Master Korn is where it's at. Number 5.5. Let's see if that ringmaster who was in charge of the underground fights is actually the ringmaster from the comic books.
You mean the guy with the top hat that mind controls people because of its swirly circle?
Exactly. We need to see if that ringmaster is the ringmaster.
I think you're looking way too into that one, son.
Now, let's move on to the final thing that we need to do to ensure that Season 2 will take us out of the trenches.
Is it Shang-Chi?
No, it's not Shang-Chi. That's a superhero. We're not focusing on that. We're just focusing on the supervillain side of things. I don't care if they bring Shang-Chi in it or not.
Well, I mean, he is a fan favorite, and he would bring some much-needed racial diversity.
Okay, fine. Bring in Shang-Chi, alright? You're in, Shang-Chi, alright? I love you, Shang-Chi. Have my babies, Shang-Chi. Or, are you happy now? I'm having his babies.
Alright. Say what you are going to say.
I need to become the polar opposite of Iron Fist. I need to be the antithesis. I've already started my own chest symbol. Sure, it doesn't have the wings, but who needs the wings? Fuck the wings, because I am the Steel Serpent. Serpents are way more cool than dragons anyway.
Aren't they the same thing?
Well, that is what I'm going for. I need to ingest some of Danny Rand's power so that I could become the evil version of him. It is like yin-yang. I can't be the Steel Serpent without Iron Fist Season 2, and Iron Fist Season 2 can't exist without the Steel Serpent. Do you see the cycle going on there?
I don't know about that, boy. Isn't that considered to be the weak point of the MCU, that most of the villains are just an evil version of the hero? You will help make this show even more bland and cliche than it already is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to not have superpowers so that we can continue having this show be more grounded than it has to be? You're right. The more supernatural, the better. If you get to be the steel serpent, then I get to be the crane mother. After all, I am currently the one who holds the copyright to the name Steel Serpent. That is the name of my drug cartel. Yes, the place where you get all of my glorious drugs. So do you want your ass sued? I don't think so. So we need to make an agreement. Alright. You become the crane mother. There, you happy? Alright, we got everything. Everything has been wrapped up tightly and nicely then. This is our pitch. I like it a lot. Now all we have to do is just take this pitch to Netflix and see if they will agree. And if they don't, I can show some discipline to those naughty boys. They probably all need a good spanking. Yes, the Iron Fist series will be redeemed. Well, considering how hugely we fucked up all the potential of this season, this also could mean a chance to just fuck it all up even more in a season 2. Oh, where the fuck is Danny's iPod? I want to stop listening to this old geezer. Well, wherever his iPod is, it's probably right next to Star-Lord's Walkman. Huh, he is sort of an early 2000s version of Star-Lord, isn't he? Just like how you are a ripoff of Mordo. Oh yeah? Well, you are a ripoff of